Well, this thing pumps out a lot of air, so hopefully it won't be on long. So is it on?
Mhm.
So what I'll do is trim a little bit of this video off, since the meeting has officially started. It's streaming, but we haven't started the meeting yet.
Now, if Stephanie sits there, she's not gonna be seen.
She's gonna sit at the end. So Susan's at one end, Stephanie's at one end, so all we're gonna see is the mayor.
Okay.
And then when the next meeting kicks off, it's gonna be the commissioner, and then the planning commission commissioner. And then the callees, because we've got some, engineers calling in. Tommy Bond and someone else. And then Jimmy has to present, so he's gonna go up to the podium and actually talk.
Okay. And I don't think we should have a problem with that.
I'm worried about that one because we may have a little bit of
Feedback?
feedback.
Should.
Turn it on. Test. Yeah, we should have a problem. Well, let me unmute this. Test.
I don't hear it.
So, I'll unmute that when we get time.
Where am I sitting?
You wanna maintain social distancing, you're gonna have to sit out of the shop. So,
Hey, you joined.
the only one that's really gonna be in the shop's mayor.
Mayor.
I just didn't know where,
Well,
is this good for you spot?
well, this is where, the translator's gonna be sitting, so you can probably sit where the vacant Ward One spot is.
Awesome,
So you'll be out of that shop.
okay.
What's your name, sir?
Will.
I'm Scott, this is Sean, this is Emily.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You too.
You too.
Looks like it's gonna be pretty short.
Well, we're hoping it's gonna be 15 minutes per meeting, there should
Yeah.
be 3 meetings.
That's what he
in one.
said, it says it's gonna be 3 meetings back to back, so.
Yeah. 15-minute recess in between, so we're kinda under the gun to get them.
Yeah, you're out of it.
But I'm out of that one?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What, you're not a ham?
No.
I got Sue on. Who's in it? Tara Smith's here.
Okay, good.
Mayor Twitty.
Okay, she couldn't connect yesterday.
She just muted it again.
Somebody's on me. We'll worry about that when the time comes.
Now, yesterday when it had multiple people, was you able to see everybody on?
No, so the people that dial in, you don't see who they are. So they're actually using the app.
Okay.
Because it forces you to put your name in. I didn't put that in my email, but.
Okay, so that's, so
So-
that kinda, the UC map, the UCB app is.
Yeah, it's working. So, I wasn't really worried about city council, I'm worried about the other two.
Yeah. Like I said, they have to have an app, yeah, that's where it starts getting confusing. They just dial in, just the audio only and dial in, they won't.
Well, Jimmy's, during the first meeting, the city council, city called the commissioners, kind of give them a little bit of coaching before they dial in.
Okay.
So, I think we'll be fine. Maybe.
And then we're gonna have the council, the conference room, Les and,
Well, the two commissioners are gonna be here in person, they're just sitting where the mayor sits.
Okay.
Jimmy will be speaking, Chief Waffey will be speaking. Howdy, you ready?
Guess so. What do y'all want me?
Well, you're just right there, you'll be out of the camera shot. That's where I wanna be.
You want me to shut this door for light?
I think it'll be more in the mayor's face, so probably, yeah.
Cause I'm looking at it, it's like, I know it's reflecting off the TV.
Yeah, this time of year it shoots right in his face.
Is that better on
Looks about the same. There we go.
Yeah, cause it's reflecting off the.
Yeah.
Understatement.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying,
right.
yep.
So that does make a difference on the podium.
The ambient light coming in.
Yeah, the sunlight that's reflecting off the podium like was kind of reflecting back off the, not the podium, but you know.
The backdrop.
Yeah.
Stain.
Yeah. I guess I need to do this. Mute and mute.
Are you dialing in too?
No, I'm just muting, no, I'm muting my ringtone.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. My ringtone's Looney Tunes, I don't have to be playing no music.
Oh, last time I had, I was here, I had a phone and, my wife's ringtone was Brick House, so every time she called me, it'd be Brick House, right there. Right in the middle of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Your daddy's on board,
Rick.
right?
Well, I had Woody Woodpecker's my ringtone right in the middle of city council. When that's sitting right there, sent me a text while I'm at the podium. And Bobby said my face turned red because I couldn't get to my phone quick enough. I was so freaking embarrassed.
And she did that on purpose.
Yeah, she did. And she told me afterwards. This is like,
Hello, we're here.
Nope.
I'm here. This is Barbara Mashburn.
Hey, Barbara, this is Mike.
I'm here. I'm here, Mike. Mary Twitty.
Hello, Mary.
Hey. Hello.
as long as they're talking amongst each other, they know it's live.
I'm here, Mike. That sounds like your voice. Hey, is this thing like streaming where I can see, on YouTube?
I don't think you can see everybody. I think you can only hear it. This is
No, but I mean like, the mayor, whoever's at City Hall, is that not gonna be streamed?
Hey, Mike, this is Scott. Yes, it is streamed live. If you wanna watch the YouTube live feed, I recommend you
Yeah.
don't do that because there is a 30-second delay.
Ah,
But yes, to answer your question, yes, it is streamed live, and if you go to YouTube and search for COJ Arkansas, all one word, you'll see the meeting being streamed, but like I said, if you're gonna do that, mute your computer,
yeah. COJ Arkansas?
all one word, yes, sir.
This is Terry Stanton.
Ooh, yikes.
I thought my computer, I needed to mute it, it was already muted. So I saw Susan just walk by there, that was like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, you should see one live stream on it.
Yeah, she
Absolutely.
was on Zoom.
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Is that your normal seat?
No.
Hello.
Hey, Scott, tell me again if it's not, if we go to YouTube, how do we see it?
Go to YouTube and do a search for COJ Arkansas, all one word.
Got it.
Yeah, okay.
Are you well?
I'm well, yes, sir. Thank you.
Glad to see you.
Good to see
Thank you
you.
for being here.
Yeah, glad to be here.
I guess we're waiting on Jake.
He's right here.
Oh, okay. So, are you and Jimmy gonna share microphones, or,
Yeah, at the podium right here.
okay?
If we move the podium around, we'd have too much feedback.
But we could turn another mic around, one of them share, but. So, now we can shut the back door that Jake's in here. I'm okay with shutting it now. Okay. Yeah. Now we have 5 minutes. Are we live now?
We are live.
We're on the stream.
We're on stream.
We're
Okay.
right in the wheels.
Appreciate you coming out and
Yeah,
doing,
glad to be
doing
here.
the time today,
Yeah.
and, we may do this again next month.
Okay,
Put 2 or 3 meetings together,
Okay.
depends on what meetings we need to have.
okay,
But we're looking at the 21st,
okay,
just to warn you,
okay, sounds good, just let me know.
okay?
Now, Mayor, do we need to worry about recording the audio to this as well,
Audio,
like we normally do?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
do I need to push a button up here?
Yes, just hit the, record button when it's signed.
Now, it's red,
That means it's recording.
okay.
Did you say COJ Arkansas?
Yes, sir.
I went and looked at the link, Scott. It's very easy. You just go to the city website and hit there you are. I mean, it's, you did a good job on that. That's,
John did that.
Okay, let me hear that again. COJ Arkansas.
All one word, yes, sir. Or you can go to our website, there's a direct link to it there on the front page.
Okay, yeah, I was doing it on YouTube, but I couldn't pull it up. Okay.
Three minutes.
I got it. Hello?
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 Okay, everybody be sure and remember to mute your phones, because we'll get too much background noise. We don't want dogs barking and commercials playing and everything else over there, so please mute your phones except when you're gonna vote or have a comment or make a motion. Or answer roll call.
So when should we not mute our phones?
When you want to speak or when.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Oh, and the other thing I'm gonna ask everybody is if you make a motion, state your name along with it so we record your name and we can get it correct in the minutes. 6 o'clock, and I call this meeting to order. Thank you for all those that are here and all those that are viewing and watching and listening. Roll call, please, Susan.
Councilmember Bolden,
Here.
Councilmember Sipes,
Here.
Councilmember Sansing,
Here.
Councilmember Ray, Councilmember Mashburn,
Here.
Councilmember Trailer,
Here.
Councilmember Twitty,
Here.
Councilmember Smith,
Here.
Councilmember Collins,
Here.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm here.
I have one absence, sir.
All right, thank you. We do see a quorum. For us, we have presentation of minutes in the April 2nd meeting, then approval of the minutes from the March 5th meeting. Do I hear anything about the approval of the minutes? I hear a motion.
So moved. This is Bolton. Second. Mike Trailer, second.
All right, thank you very much. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed say nay. All right, appreciate it. All right, we have the consent agenda. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Mike Trailer, motion to approve the consent agenda.
Terry Sansing, second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Say nay. All right, so we've carried the consent agenda. So that brings us to ordinance 1632. Okay, before we read 1632, I'm gonna ask for a special motion for this one meeting only, that we suspend the rules and that the first reading is the only reading and the one vote is for first, second, and third, and the emergency clause. So we don't do this over and over and over. So I'm gonna ask for someone to make a.
I second.
Okay, so we have a motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to put, ordinance 1632 on the first, second, third, and final reading. I need a motion. Okay, roll call.
Councilman Bolden,
Aye. Bolton.
Councilman Sipes,
Aye.
Councilman Sansing, Councilman Ray, Councilman Mashburn,
Aye.
Councilman Trailer,
Aye.
Councilman Twitty,
Aye.
Councilman Smith,
Aye.
Councilman Collins,
Collins, aye.
Okay,
Ordinance number 1632, an ordinance authorizing and approving an agreement between the City of Jacksonville, Arkansas and the Mid-Arkansas Water Alliance, declaring an emergency and for related purposes.
thank you. Jake, would you come up and explain, Jake Short with the Water Department?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. For those that don't know, or are not aware, Jacksonville, along with, I think it's 25 or 26 other water utilities in the state, make up, the non-profit organization or corporation that is the Mid-Arkansas Water Alliance. The Mid-Arkansas Water Alliance, its sole purpose is to, by pulling our resources, working together, is to acquire water allocations out of U.S. Army Corps of Engineers lakes. In this case, we're talking about Greers Ferry. The city entered into a similar agreement back in 2009, where we purchased 1.24 million gallons a day out of that lake. The current agreement mirrors that, but this time we're buying 2.25 additional MGD. So this will give us a total of just shy of 3.5 million gallons a day, earmarked for us in Greersbury Lake.
Okay. Council members, does anybody have any questions or clarification or comments?
This is Mike Trailer. I've got a question for Jake. Jake, are we required to use that every day?
No, sir. No, this is just,
So we don't pay for what we don't use?
we are paying for, we're storing it in the lake, so we're paying for storage.
Or are we paying to store the 3 point something?
We pay a lump sum fee of just over $704,000, but that earmarks that water for us in the future. This is future water
Okay.
we're talking about.
So do we still have, requirements that we have to meet under Central Arkansas Water as far as minimal?
Yeah, this has nothing to do with any wholesale provider contracts that we have, be it CAW or Lone Oak White. Those wholesale contracts have nothing to do with this. Other than that Lone Oak White is the mechanism through which we would receive the water from Lone Oak White. If that makes sense.
You mean, Lone Oak White, that's where we would receive the water from Mid-Arkansas Water Line?
We would receive the water from Lone Oak White. The Mid-Arkansas Water Alliance is just the association that is charged with obtaining the allocations.
Okay.
Hey, Boulder, I have a question, Jake. Is this the Lone Oak White that we worked with when I was on the board back today on the commission?
Yes, sir.
So so we've surpassed our amount already?
Well, that first, back when we brought allocation in 2009, the Corps was only giving up, opening up to 15 million gallons a day. And each entity was vying for a piece of that pie. And so this is the second round. They've opened up another 20.75 million gallons a day. Again, each entity is kind of vying for its own piece of the pie. Jacksonville was able to acquire an additional 2.25 to add.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions from council members? I just want to say how important it is to Lark Air Force Base and realignment that we have 2 water sources plus our own wells if needed. So it's really important that if something happened and we weren't able to get water from Central Arkansas Water, we can get it from here, or we can get it from Central Arkansas Water if something happened here. So it's really important that for the stability of our air base. So with no more further questions, okay, roll call please.
I need a motion and second to.
Oh, need a motion second to approve on first, second, third.
Mike Trailer, a motion to approve ordinance 1632 on first, second, third, and final reading.
Jake Boulder,
And Mike, that does include the emergency clause, correct?
And the emergency clause, yes.
Okay,
Emergency clause has to remain separate.
okay, the emergency clause has to remain second, not separate, okay. All right, roll call.
Councilman Bolden,
Aye.
Councilman Sipes,
Yes.
Councilman Sansing, Councilman Mashburn,
Aye. Aye.
Councilman Trailer,
Aye.
Councilman Twitty,
Aye.
Councilman Smith,
Aye.
Councilman Collins.
Collins, aye.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second, Jake Boulder.
Okay, any discussion on emergency clause? Seeing none, call the roll.
Councilman Bolden,
Aye.
Councilman Sipes,
Aye.
Councilman Sansing,
Aye.
Councilman Mashburn,
Aye.
Councilman Trailer,
Aye.
Councilman Twitty,
Aye.
Councilman Smith,
Aye.
Councilman Collins.
Aye.
Thank you, council, we have adopted 1632. Okay, we also have from our street department a request to enter into an agreement on stormwater, mapping. Mr. Oakley, would you come explain this?
Yes, sir. If you recall, Alderman, Mayor, about a month ago, y'all passed a resolution to allow us to go and do this. We're gonna get a grant, for better words, from Pages to do this mapping, to get our system. We never had a map of our storm drain system. So this will allow us to pick a contractor, which we went out and solicited qualifications. We had 8 applicants. And we'd like to choose Garber Engineering. They have done work, for Sherwood, Little Rock, and North Little Rock. So they're very aware of what we're doing, and they're very good contractors when I call them references.
And when you're saying the other cities, you're saying this kind of work?
Exactly.
Okay.
The GIS work.
Okay. Council members, do we have any questions?
Mike, Jimmy, so this would allow us to see it on Pages?
Correct.
Any other?
Councilman Maxford, I have a question, Jimmy.
Yes, ma'am.
Would this allow us to keep from, having our streets flooded? If you knew where all the drains were and you could keep them cleaned out?
Well, possibly. It will definitely be a good tool to have in our toolbox. And it will be for future generations to come. And, we don't have nothing on, yes, that'd be a good tool.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved, this is Bolden, James Bolden.
Second, Mary Sweating.
Okay, I have a motion second. No further discussion. Everybody in favor say aye. Okay, opposed say nay. Okay, we've approved it. Okay, we're not gonna have, since we haven't had any committee meetings, we're gonna pass over that. Our next item of business is, resolution 792. That Reedy Ray wanted, is it time to read it? Or do we need it?
Motion and second to place
I
on
need-
reading.
Okay, I need a motion second to place on reading.
So moved.
Second, Mary Sweating.
Resolution 792, a resolution by the City of Jacksonville supporting the House Joint Resolution 1018 of 2019, proposing an amendment to the Arkansas Constitution to continue a levy of 0.5% sales and use tax for state highways and bridges, county roads, bridges, and other surface transportation, and city streets, bridges, and other surface transportation after the retirement of the bonds authorized in Arkansas Constitution Amendment 91 as special revenue to be distributed under the Arkansas Highway Revenue Distribution Law.
Okay, and just, the municipal league is asking that all the cities pass this and be in unison, so, Reedy was supposed to be the sponsor on it, but he's not here, so I am. But this is supporting the sales tax that's currently in place and extending it. We receive about 1/3 of our road and bridge money from the sales tax. The, state gets 70%, the counties get 15%, and the cities get 15%. It's split up based on population, and that's why that census is important. So, but yes, this is important to us being able to keep our streets and, department working like it's supposed to be. Any questions on this resolution?
I need a voice vote on reading the resolution.
Okay, I need a motion.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, we've adopted that resolution.
Now we need a motion second to adopt the resolution.
Oh, okay, now we need a motion, a second to adopt the resolution.
So moved, second, Gary Sykes.
Okay, motion second, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Okay, I'm going to remove, the next item on the agenda, requesting an agreement with the, engineer, and, save that for later. We're gonna look into it a little further. Okay, our next, item of business is, reappointment of Fred Belote to the Sewer Commission to expire 4/20/25.
Motion to approve.
Second, the motion is putting.
All right, we got a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, the next one is we have, reappointment of Larry Wilson. Somebody needs to mute their phone, for a term to expire 4/20/2028.
Motion to approve. So moved. James Bowden.
All right, we got motion second.
Second, Dennis Whittle.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, they've been reappointed. City Clerk, have we received any public comments for this meeting?
No, sir, we have not.
We have not received any. Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mike Trailer, so moved.
Okay,
Second.
all right, we're adjourned.
Bye, y'all. Thank you, bye.
Thank you all. Thanks everybody for out in the audience, and, what an experience.
Thank you.
Ooh, we had 12 views.
Oh, cause that was really great.
We're still
We're
out.
going viral. I thought we heard.
Well, who said they can't hear anything?
Who's that?
It's over now.
They didn't hear me.
Councilman Ray. He got this guy. Okay, so you hear that sound? That's coming from that hotline.
You want me to turn the recorder off?
No, we're just gonna turn that podium mic off, since it's new speaker.
Yes, let's turn the call.
Yeah, that's for city council, right? I got it muted. That's the hot mic.
Stay, keep it going.
That was the hot mic,
Which one?
the recorder.
Oh,
The recorder with the hotline?
Yeah, we heard.
yeah, that small.
Well, that was when she pushed this one.
Yeah.
On off? Okay.
Well, cause I need 3 separate individual.
Yes,
recordings.
I understand. I understand.
Scott,
I put,
Now we're still green, those.
I put,
no, sir, we're gonna leave it rolling through all 3 meetings, so, yeah, it's still rolling.
some idea where it's at. Turn it around.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, go back.
Councilmember Ray was coming up here.
Well, he was connected, but you said.
No, we're still live.
Yeah, we're still, we're muted.
Oh, you are
Well,
muted?
no, not on YouTube.
No, cause, Alan just told me he was, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all.
Yeah, we know we're still on.
Okay.
Yeah, we're. Oh, we're talking about the calls.
Yeah, so we have one disconnect. So, I don't know if he did or not, but he left me a voice message, he was able to get in, but he couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I told him,
I thought I heard it once.
I thought I did too.
Sounded like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Susan, did you hear Reedy once?
He'll see his name plate up there.
You never heard him? What's that? I thought I heard it once whatsoever.
Take care, sir.
This is a good chili.
Well, in this instance, it'd be dry.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They won't, you got a big old margarita. We are muted, they got.
Yeah. Remember that? I turned.
You're live.
Yeah. Turn it around. Where it's at.
participants.
How many?
There's 10.
There should be 10.
So go ahead.
Now we've got to wait, yeah, we've got 1 minute. Jimmy.
Mark.
Just because we like it, can't be likely.
It is.
All right, looks like 6:30.
Yes, sir.
All right, 6:30, call the meeting to order for the Jacksonville Planning Commission. This will be April 23rd, special call meeting. The opening remarks will be, I want to thank all of you guys for allowing us to do this through the internet and everything. At this time too, all of the commissioners that are on the audio, just make sure everything's muted. Whenever you do check in, you know the rules, just give your name and who it is, and then your comments or your here whenever we go through roll call. The other thing too is that we will skip the minutes here in just a little bit because
They'll be emailed later.
they'll be emailed later and we'll be able to check those out. And then after that, we'll approve them at next meeting. So before we get started, let's just open a word of prayer and we'll get going. Most Holy Father, as we bow before you, we just want to thank you and honor you as the sovereign God and creator. Father, we just are awed as your awesome presence. And as we go right now, Father, to just think about the fact that we have all these circumstances around us that has seemingly out of control, but you're not, and you are never will be out of control. Father, we just want to just conduct this business in an honorable way and an integral way, Father, all for the city. And we just ask it all to be for your honor and your glory. We ask it on your precious Son, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So at this time, would you read the roll?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Montgomery. Commissioner Sykes. Commissioner Hall.
Okay, we get an unmute before you, and then give your name. Okay, we're having them check. Any commissioners out there, try to just unmute your phone and check in.
Calls on.
14 people on.
Okay, with 14 people on.
Everything's okay up here? Separate. Good.
Bond consultant, Greg Bones on.
What?
It's unmuted now.
Anybody hear us?
Okay, we're gonna try roll call again.
Okay.
Unmute your phone, answer roll, and then mute your phone again. Commissioner Montgomery. Commissioner Sykes. Commissioner Hall. Vivian Britton. I know Vivian's out there.
some time. While we're waiting on the audio problems to get fixed, commissioners, we just have a new commissioner, will be Greg Boland. At this particular time, Greg, I want you to notice too on your, the agenda here, we have a sketch plat, preliminary plat, final plat, and then a revised plat. So you got the full plate and get to see a lot going on here tonight. The way it kind of works is sketch plat's the first thing somebody wants to do as a developer, and we look at the sketch plat and give it over an idea about this is the way the city wants to go. We talk to the engineers here and get feedback as to is it gonna look right and everything and gonna work for us as a city. And we look at everything from a city standpoint. Then after that, we agree to it. They work into a preliminary plat that comes back to us, and that's when kind of an analogy would be, the first one would be we're talking about the car for the teenager. The second one is where we go down to the dealership to go pick up the car and make sure that all of the parts are there. And then the final analogy is we get to that final plat, and the final plat is where we give the keys to the teenager and we'll never see the car again. We hope the radio's in it, we hope everything's working fine, and the tires are on it, because when we release this thing in a final plat, it's good to go. And we just, that's kind of the 3 stages, the way things go here. And all the way along, we talk to Jimmy or Melissa, and we you know, find out, you know, what their feedback is from the city standpoint about looking at things needed. And you'll hear them chime in whenever we go through this as far as, you know, what needs to be taken care of, or are there any questions or things in line. And that's kind of the way things work in a nutshell. I guess we should, do you need anybody to try to chime in now?
Are you reaching people yet?
Well, they're all online, we just don't have anybody, we can't hear them on this end.
I thought the mayor said he heard them over there on YouTube.
Yeah, we can't hear anything here.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
They can hear us, we can't hear them.
Right.
Go into the settings here, see where it's coming out.
I don't know.
Go to bands. Right here.
Thank you, sir. General.
Audio. Output device. Right there. Now I can hear them. Take yourself off mute and.
They're working on it.
I heard the whole conversation going on.
Did you do something, Susan?
Yeah.
I can hear them. They can hear me.
dialing in. Greg, it's great to have you as a commissioner. for the first
Welcome
meeting.
to the meeting.
What an exciting
Please
meeting to be
enter
at,
a meeting
correct?
ID.
Normally, we would make the initiation for you as being the first member to be run around the building 3 times, but you're at home,
You
so
will now be
run around your
placed
house
into
3
the
times
meeting.
today.
Can y'all hear us?
Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
Can y'all hear them?
I can hear you. All right.
Brown, I can hear you.
Hey. All right, we just put some
Yeah,
bubble gum
we-
and Band-Aid on this one. Way to go. Would you read your roll again?
Commissioner Montgomery, Commissioner Sykes,
Roll call, Emma. Here.
Commissioner Hall, Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Whitman,
She's breaking up.
okay, she's there. Commissioner Twitty,
Here.
Commissioner Brown,
Here.
Commissioner Bolden,
Present.
and Chairman Stroud is here, and I need to know if we have Tommy Bond on the line.
We're represented for Bond Engineer on the line.
Is Tommy Bond in the meeting?
Aaron Robinson, I'm here.
Okay,
Yay.
thank you, Aaron.
Tommy Bond is here.
Oh, that means Aaron's got to act right.
Thank you, Tommy.
All right, okay, then, first item, well, we don't have any public hearings, so the first item, on the agenda tonight, that we need to act on will be a request to approve plats. It'll be a sketch plat, just west of us here. It's Jackson, it's, sketch plat for Sam's Settlement. Petitioner will be Greg Heslop, represented by Bond Engineering. And at this time, Aaron, you wanna, or Mr. Bond, you wanna speak to that? Concept? Sketch plat for Sam's Settlement.
Mr. Bond is gonna speak on that one.
Okay.
Is he not coming on?
I haven't heard him yet.
Mr. Bond,
Hello.
There you are.
yes, you wanna speak on the Sam settlement? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, well, it's a pretty simple little subdivision with, actually, I think, we taken 2 lots out, we had 84 shown, and we've got 80, we took 2 out, 2 of the lots are gonna be used for storm drainage retention. Pretty straightforward, and all the lots will be served by gravity sewer. All the lots are the Jacksonville water system. This is an area that was in contention with the city of Sherwood, and the area was turned back to the city of Jacksonville to be served and be a part of Jacksonville. And I'd be glad to answer any questions.
All right, commissioners, do you have any questions? If you do, just unmute and tell us your name and then questions. Okay, hearing none. Mr. Bond, I was wondering, all of the legal descriptions that were mentioned earlier, Is that all correct? On the, like the sixth column under legal description, has that been corrected?
Can you hear him, Mr. Bond, ask a question about the list we gave you, of a few small corrections? We won't correct the sixth call on the legal description?
I think everything's been corrected as per Melissa's, list that she presented us yesterday.
Okay,
This is a sketch plat, so we have time to modify this to get the next preliminary plat correct.
right,
These
yeah.
are minor things. Okay. The city, the only thing that I see on this is only one way in and out of the subdivision. It'd been nice, we'd have a second road right there where that retention basin's at. Is that possible, you think, Mr. Bond?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
Yeah, there's only one road or one ingress and egress for the subdivision. And is there a possibility that a second road could be put in about where the retention basin is showed on the sketch plat?
I guess, well, we can try and see if that works out. It'll be very difficult because there is that lot that's out of the subdivision, not included in it, and it's pretty hard to get around that.
Yes, sir, I can see that. Just something I'd like to look at between now and the preliminary plat, if we could.
Yeah,
You betcha.
we'll do that.
Again, as Mr. Bond said, this is a land swap on General Samuels Road from Sherwood and Jacksonville. And, yeah, the land swap for annexation. So the city's good with this.
All right.
On the sketch plat that's presented.
Right, okay. So, like we talked about the no egress from lots 51 to 54 and all of that, those, when we said that he agreed that what your email was, it's to all of that list there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, is there anything from any commissioners over where we've been already? So I entertain a motion this time for motion to accept the sketch plat as presented from the commissioners. Any commissioner, just unmute the mic if you want to make a motion.
Motion to approve. Greg Bowen, motion to approve.
Okay, got a motion?
Yes, second.
And a second. On the sketch plat, this is interesting. How are we gonna do all in favor? Just,
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Unmute your buttons and
Aye.
say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
I think that's pretty much all of them.
that's pretty well unanimous.
I don't know
Okay.
any other way to do it.
I don't either. Okay, great job, guys. We're getting this under our belt. Okay, item B on the agenda is a preliminary plat. Now, this is for Graham Woods Phase 4. Petitioners Dana Nixon will be represented by Bond Engineering. At this time, would somebody from Bond Engineering speak to the preliminary plat?
This is Aaron Robinson, and, this is phase 4, which is 93 lots. And basically it consists of a cul-de-sac and then another road, both accessing off of Graham. There's a few lots in the back that are in the floodplain, so we will be, putting some fill in those lots in order to show the floodplain. They've been submitted to the water department, the sewer department. They haven't had a meeting yet, but they've marked them up, and we've answered all of their questions. I'll be happy to entertain any questions.
Okay, there was, from Melissa, there was a list of things like the floodplain, which you talked to just real quick. Verify first, second, and last calls and legal description, and all of that. You remember that email? Have they all been answered, or which ones are still outstanding?
They've all been answered. Some of them we can't do until we actually start, like the floodplain development permit application. Once we start the development, we'll actually apply for that application. We added the sidewalk along Magnolia. We're waiting on the water and sewer boards to meet to get their approval. We added the concrete ditch, the sidewalk being ADA, that's just part of the details. We changed the swell detail, the sidewalk detail, and we moved the street light. And we answered all the questions. You just don't see all those on the preliminary plat.
I understand, yeah, I just want to make clear, like, you know, the 25-foot building line and all that, that's on the other plan that you're talking about. So, everything's been answered.
Yeah.
We're in the process, and no, everything will be done before we get to the final, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, great, okay. Commissioner, do you have any, questions? Jimmy, you have any input?
I'd like to ask Ms. Griggs if she's on the phone here, if she's got any comments. Leslie, you on?
Yes, I'm here. I believe they've addressed everything. Like you said, the one thing we can't see are part of the design, and we can catch that along the way. I would just ask that this be contingent based on water and sewer approval.
Okay, all right, great. Commissioners, do you have any, questions? Okay, hearing none, entertain a motion to.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
Hey, it's William.
Okay.
How many exits and entrance on this right here? I'm kind of lost on this map right here.
Well, there's two, to the whole subdivision, there's two. There's Magnolia Court, which is a cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
goes
and
in,
Redbud.
and then
I mean, the Redbud.
Redbud is a single in and out, yes. And it has to be because of the shape.
Magnolia.
But if I can interrupt you,
Yeah.
during phase 1, 2, and 3, there were 3 accesses on the ground. And those 3 go back to the back, which is, I believe, Westwood Drive. So Redbud will actually loop around and connect to Westwood. So there won't be one way in and out. They'll actually, if you go down Redbud, you would actually be able to get out of 3 other streets.
Okay, yeah, Spruce Street, you'll be back to Spruce Street. Okay. All right, good catch, William. Is that, did that answer the question?
No, because you had it on the first one, and I was gonna say what you had to say, but you beat me to it. But yeah, the entrance is very, very important. The exit and entrance, definitely.
Yes. And the cul-de-sac is okay too, with the fire department and all that, right, Jimmy?
Actually, I haven't discussed this, this week, with the fire marshal, but they do meet the city guidelines. They're at the border of the length, but they do meet the city ordinances.
Okay, all right. All right, great catch, William. Any other commissioners have any questions? All right, I entertain a motion to accept the preliminary plat, with all the corrections noted, in the email from Melissa Griggs to, Aaron, that we just talked about.
Contingent on water and sewer approval.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Mark, this is William again. I'll make the motion
Okay, motion to
to accept.
motion to accept. Do I have a second?
Jeff, 20-second.
All right. All right, motion and second to accept. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I like them ayes. Okay, good deal. We're moving on to item C on the agenda. It'll be a final plat. Now, the way this is gonna work is kinda interesting. We're gonna be talking about a final plat on a single plat unit. And then we're gonna be turning around and giving them a building permit. This part of this property is in the floodplain, so we'll need a little bit, to talk about that. but let's start off with, it'll be a final plat, a site work one, petitioner Robert Waters, represented by Bond Engineering. So, to get it all started with the final plat first, let's talk, let's hear from Bond Engineering.
Are you there, Mr. Bond?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Bond?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I think this has been before you, I guess it was first initiated 2 years ago, a year ago. And I think we finally worked all the issues out, and we are gonna request, an audience to ask for a waiver on sidewalks. But beyond that, I think we've agreed on all of the other issues that, your staff has, found during the course of the submittal.
All right, are we, so we already have a flood, so do we already have a floodplain certificate for this?
Did you understand the question, Mr. Thomas?
No, I didn't. I can't hear.
Okay, he asked, if you'd already gotten the floodplains, the permit.
We have filed for a floodplain permit with the, I think we filed it initially with the county.
Okay.
But we have to make an application for a floodplain fill permit.
Right, I would like to note, Mark, they've asked for 3 exceptions, the sidewalk out front, to knock to places, as well as leave it in gravel because of their heavy equipment. Mr. Bond can elaborate on that. And to not have a dumpster on site pad. So those things are usually required for commercial property.
All right. So and no screening or no fencing around the site?
There'd be no screening, wasn't it, Mr. Bond, that you're requesting?
Yeah, well, the contractor says he has like 6 dumpsters, but these are not, those are for construction sites. He doesn't use them on his site. He has little or no waste. He has an office and he does some maintenance on his equipment. Beyond that, he doesn't generate a lot of trash.
So C3 requires a dumpster?
Yeah, yes, you've gotta have some kind of means of disposing of waste. There'll always be some waste if he done picked up a burger from Wendy's. So you've got to, normally speaking, you gotta provide some way of disposing of your sanitation. And, if he's got 3 roll-offs there, you're saying, I mean, I believe in the future, he was gonna bring in some other businesses in there possibly. Of course, we can address it at that time, I guess. They would have to provide dumpster service.
So if we allow this,
He says he doesn't, I assume he would be paying a regular, city, water, sewer, and trash, garbage bill. So he would probably have.
Anything over 4,000 square feet, he has to go private unless it's broke up, and less than that, and that's a possibility. I think his building is 7,500 square feet, wasn't it? The proposal?
Yeah, it's a big.
76, 7,700, something like that. So,
Yeah, it's a.
yeah, 7,500 square feet.
something like that. And of course, the sidewalk out front, does he still have the landscaping in the plan?
Yes. Got the landscape.
Well, it was on the plan that
That's
we
correct.
originally
Okay.
developed. We'll only speak to the fire on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to check, be sure that wasn't something else. Well, the sidewalk was one he was wanting to not have there, our, commissioners.
Need a sidewalk waiver as well as the
Yes.
gravel drive
Yeah,
and
A dumpster.
that's right.
So we got 3 waivers.
Yes.
And we don't even have a floodplain, certificate permit yet. So that would make it kinda like 4 almost.
We wouldn't issue the permit, Mark, until he got that floodplain, so that's not an issue or a holdup on this thing particularly. So I wouldn't let it be a fourth waiver, because we won't issue a permit there. These other ones, we need to get an agreement on with the planning commission tonight, those other 3 waivers.
Okay, so, Commissioner, did you hear all that? We've got 3 waivers that we're gonna have to put into the approval of this final plat, should we do it. One is no dumpster at this particular point right now. It is commercial business, and there's a possibility that they could add more businesses there, and would be necessarily they would need one. Gotta refresh my memory. What was that? The gravel, instead of being concrete pad out there, because of heavy equipment, they want a waiver to have just gravel instead of that. That's the second waiver.
No sidewalks.
And then, of course, no sidewalks, out there by the freeway. We'll give them a waiver for no sidewalks there. So, any questions over what we're talking about with this final plat for this, section of this plat? No questions? All right, then, entertain a motion to, accept the final plat with the 3 waivers.
Do you have any concerns over these letters?
And
Not what we already know, they have to have a waiver that, the existing ordinances require. So,
But if we give the waiver, that means they may not ever have to put a dumpster on there again. They could have a mall out there and no dumpster,
if they get other businesses, I can catch the dumpster service at that point,
right?
because we'll have to give a water service and we'll address that issue with that particular business. So that's not a big hangup. But the sidewalk is a pretty significant waiver, since everybody else put sidewalks in, normally speaking.
Right.
The gravel, there is some concrete in the front for parking, so it'll be a dust-free parking. But whereas approaches, between the approaches getting on off the road, will be concrete aprons. You correct me, Tommy, if I'm wrong. But they want some gravel from there out, because the big heavy trucks will pull in, you're ready to break it up. So there'll be a small area between the parking pad in front of the building and the aprons pulling off the road will be gravel. And that's the exception that, we first were asking to put concrete in the whole thing. And he's asking for an exception.
Okay.
That's the waiver we'll request. The 2 waivers is the gravel and the sidewalk. That's the primary waivers. And the reason is that he did, his old business is heavy equipment, and paved the front with the heavy equipment out there, he's gonna end up tearing it all up. So it seems like a terrible waste, to try to pave it for, he has big track holes and dozers, and that's his business. And the sidewalk, to my knowledge, there will be no sidewalk north or south to connect to, so it seems kind of wasted and the fact that this heavy equipment's gonna be crossing back and forth, the sidewalk's probably gonna be damaged during the course of all that. So that's kind of the reasons for our request for waivers for those 2 issues.
All right, did, all the commissioners hear the explanation from Mr. Bond on the waivers? Right.
Yes, this is William, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, are there any questions over? This goes final as it is right now with this one individual. It's gonna stay C3, this single business right here, right?
Correct.
If they build anything else, they have to come back for a permit to build on it again.
Correct.
So the building permit we're gonna be giving is just for this building right here. This, the one that they're.
Are the ones in that sketch Yes, it's open catch here, yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, commissioners, then, entertain a motion as, to what do you feel at this time? As we talked about tonight, the motion would say, we accept, the final plat with, 3 waivers as noted, and, city clerk has already written those down.
This is Gary Sipes. I make a motion that we accept the 3, as long as, thoroughly satisfied with all the necessary paperwork that he's supposed to bring in, for the flooding situation.
Okay, all right, yeah, with the permit included, yeah. Okay, excellent, okay. Do I have a second for the motion?
Second, Greg Bowen, second.
Okay, I have a motion to second on the floor to accept, the final plat with 3 waivers and the permit, for the floodplain to be, to have to be established before you can give the building permit. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. All right, all right, and is there any opposed? Okay, all right, moving on from the final plat, the last will be building permits, which will be the same thing that we were just talking about, and, he's already spoken to it, so, this particular time, I just entertain a motion that, we would go ahead and give the building permit with the contingency that, the floodplain permit is, taken care of, and, is there anything else that you have?
Let me refer to Ms. Griggs. Ms. Griggs, do you recall anything else we need to address?
No, I believe they got it in the motion for the final plat.
We're good, sir.
We'll restate it here for the flood permit.
Okay.
All right, so I entertain a motion at this time to accept the building, permit, for Robert Waters Site Work 1, with the floodplain permit in hand before it's issued. I entertain that motion. Have any commissioners move?
Gary Sipes, Jeff Woody.
Okay, a motion and a second.
That's the best call, man. Can I talk to him on this?
All right, okay. Not sure where that phone call comes from. But anyway, all right, unmute, and for all the commissioners at this time, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Are there any commissioners to say, no? And I really think Tommy Bond was voting on the ayes here. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, so, that's all, he did it. All right, so, is there any other, announcements from the commissioners? Again, Greg, I want to thank you very much for taking place a part of the commission. Look forward to seeing you in person. Oh, wait a minute, you just live down the street. So, I will, call this meeting adjourned, right? All right, meeting adjourned.
Appreciate it, thanks. Thank you.
First time over everything.
Yeah, no, you good here. That's when that happens.
Oh, no. I told you to come check that.
That's when the temperature in the room goes up 800
You
degrees.
think it's 40?
just working. It just
Oh.
working.
Say what?
I had that for separate tapes.
Really?
For the council chamber, I mean, for the council meeting.
Oh, man.
That's why we're like, we just need this.
Well, look like keep me on your toes.
Thank you for all the work, guys.
Hey, it's good, because now we know. See you later, Mark. Good to see you.
So we're all here. What's the feedback coming from here?
It's coming from the call.
Okay.
So, do we have commissioners
You
for
got
the
an agenda?
civil service calling in right now?
Right now we have 7 participants. Lindsay, we still have 7 people on the call.
Well, we can't tell who it is. They may be commissioners from the last meeting.
Okay, so can we turn this off and turn it back on so that I get a separate recording?
All you gotta do is hit, record. I stopped recording,
Okay, well, all right, good.
so I'm waiting, I unmute, we're
We're good to go?
good, I'm unmuted.
Can y'all hear us?
Hello?
Yeah. Who are you trying to contact?
Anybody on the meeting?
I'm on the Civil Service Committee.
Thank you, sir. That's what what's your name?
Harold Stringfellow.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yes, Shelley's here too.
All the commissioners on?
We have 7 participants, so what we like for you to do is just identify yourself, and then put your phone on mute. That way, as opposed to talk over.
This is Commissioner Walters. It's Commissioner Stringfellow. Commissioner Shelley. This Commissioner Walters, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have Commissioner Lindsay?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, the Civil Service Commission meeting, for April 23rd, 7:00 PM, City Hall Council Chambers is now in session. The second item on the agenda after the call to order is, approval and or correction of minutes from our regular Civil Service Commission meeting held on March 5th, 2020. Commissioners, have you, had a chance to review, those minutes? If you have any questions or comments?
Yes, no comment. Yes, I reviewed them. Yes, Shelley.
Any comments? If not, I'm gonna recommend, have a motion on the floor to approve, those minutes. All in favor, say, make a motion, please.
Aye.
I don't think I got a motion.
I got a motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Opposers, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. The third item on the agenda is the consent agenda, Fire Department 6-month certification. Lieutenant Josh Shelby. Chief, would you like to have some comments on that, please?
Yes, very quickly, I'm asking the Civil Service Commission to accept a certification for Josh Selby to be a lieutenant. He's done a great job. He's completed his JPRs, and that's all I'm asking the commission for.
Commissioners, is there any discussion?
No. No. Motion. No. No. No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve, this request. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I oppose is nay. Ayes have it. Okay, police department, nothing at this time. Old business, we have none. Under our new business, item 5 on the agenda, Discussion and approval for concession regarding May promotional testing due to COVID-19.
Yes, Commissioners, typically every year we do promotional testing, and it's a two-part system. It's a written exam as well as a practical evaluation exam from which we have battalion chiefs and captains from other fire departments come to the city, and they evaluate our firefighters' performance. We're asking that we cancel that due to COVID and social distancing, and our promotion process only be the written exam.
Thank you. Commissioners, any discussion, questions, comments?
No. No.
Was that 4 or 3?
We just need a motion and second to approve.
Okay. Someone make a motion to approve, please?
Stringfellow, I'll make a motion, we do so.
Get a second?
Second. Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve this request. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposers, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B on the, under the new business, organizational and rank restructuring of the Jacksonville Fire Department. Once again, Chief, comments, please.
Yes, I'm gonna make a change to our staff captains, and I would like to change their ranks from captain to division chief. The way the ranks work currently is we have firefighter, then we have a rank designation that is a 1 bugle, that is a lieutenant, 2 bugles is captain. 3 bugles right now is battalion chief, but it's also synonymous with division chief, and then 5 bugles is fire chief. We have 4 divisions, however, 3 out of the 4 divisions are ranked as captain, and they should be a 3 bugle position instead of 2. So I'm asking that that be changed to division chief, and I would entertain any questions right now.
Commissioners, did you hear the discussion on the floor?
Will the captains be made division chiefs?
We have line captains, which are 12 different captains that work in the emergency services. The 3 staff captains will be division chief ranks. That doesn't necessarily mean that those particular people in those positions will get automatic promotions. They will have to test to a chief level test. They have to pass that test, and then I am going to open up those positions for anyone else who qualifies for those positions and interview them as well.
Any other discussions, commissioners?
Will they entertain a pay increase for those 3 captains?
So it's a 3-part process, really. It's an authority, promotion, and budget. The authority comes from, really, the fire chief has authority under Title II, Chapter 2.20, under the Jacksonville Municipal Code, and it states that the fire department shall consist of a fire chief, assistant fire chief, and such other officers and personnel as deemed necessary for the effective operation of the department. So that's why I'm making this change. The promotion part of it, it's my responsibility to let you guys, the commission, know that the promotion exam will change for this position. Instead of testing for captain, they'll be testing for a chief division test for promotion. And as far as the budget, city council will be the approval authority for that funding. I have not secured the funding for that, but you all are the first step to make this happen.
Okay, all right. No other questions?
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the organizational and rank restructuring of the Jacksonville Fire Department. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion, sir. Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposers, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. Item C under the new business is a request to approve active and inactive promotional eligibility list. Chief, once again, this is the one that we previously kind of just kicked around and for clarification, so if you would, please.
Right, like I mentioned earlier to someone who had a question about this is easy to understand but much harder to explain, so I'll give it my best shot. There are two issues at hand here. One is the eligibility to test, and there's the eligibility to promote. Civil service law says that if you are inside a rank for at least 1 year, you're eligible to test for the next rank. Our rules and regulations state that you are to test after you've completed your probation and 2 months in rank. I would like to correct that in our rules and regulations to change it to say that you can be promoted after your probationary period plus 2 years and leave out the part about testing. The reason why I'm asking is this. Currently, we have what I feel is an arbitrary cutoff date every year for someone to test for promotion, and that date is 30 June. A firefighter is eligible to be promoted 3 years after they're hired. If I were to hire someone 29 June of 2017 and hire someone else 2 July 2017, I have one person that gets to test and the next one has to wait an extra year. I don't think that's fair. That's not the intent of the law, and that's not the intent of our rules and regulations. I would like to change it where if you become eligible to promote at any time in the next 12 months, you can test during that promotion cycle. For example, if I have 6 lieutenant candidates that test for captain, 5 of the 6 are already eligible to promote. One candidate, we'll call him Jones, is not eligible to promote until 1 September. That means if I have a captain who retires in July, and Jones scores second on the list, he's inactive. I cannot interview him. But if that captain retires in November, then Jones is now active and I can interview him, even though he scored second on the list. So in one case, I might be interviewing the first, third, and fourth individual as my top 3. In the second example, I will be interviewing my first, second, and third as my top 3 ranks. I hope I explained that well enough, but I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
Commissioners, are there any questions for Chief?
No. Now, I think the Chief explained it pretty well.
Okay. Council, is anyone from H&R here with us tonight?
I'm on the phone, Commissioner.
Yes, thank you. Any observations or comments on what the Chief just explained?
He explained it very good.
Okay. All right, very good. If there's no further discussion, I will entertain a motion to approve the inactive promotion.
Commissioner,
Yes.
we need to approve our, March testing, the scores for March testing, so that we can hire off that list.
That's item D, we're about to come to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on our
Thank
way.
you.
We're on our way. Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the active and inactive promotion eligibility list.
Motion.
Second?
I make the motion.
Second?
Second.
It's been motioned and second that we approve the request to approve the active, inactive promotion eligibility list. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. The last item on our list is the request to approve fire department and police department entry-level exam scores from March testing. Commissioners, y'all had a chance to review those?
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay. Any discussion, questions?
None here.
Hey, y'all gotta talk back to me now.
None here. You got the test? Motion?
Yes, let me have a
Motion
motion.
made to accept the test?
Repeat yourself, talk slower, repeat yourself.
Okay, motion to accept the test scores.
Okay, motion has been made. Is there a second?
Yes.
Okay, there's been motion to accept, and there's been motion and second that we, accept the listing here. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Ayes have it, thank you. We did pretty good, commissioners, for our first try here.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner, just so on the record, we're also doing the same thing for the police department.
Okay.
Because of COVID-19, we are not doing the assessment center, we're just taking the test. So I didn't know if Chief Lockie mentioned that, but the police department is doing the same thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, it's all right.
General consensus is that's okay.
Okay, the general
Make a
consensus
motion to
is,
adjourn.
the general consensus is that, that's okay.
Okay.
Council, any observations, comments, questions? All right, there's nothing else on our agenda for tonight, so if there's nothing else to claim our attention, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion, so moved. To adjourn?
There's been motion and second that we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Ayes have it, we are now adjourned. Thank you.